Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know.
The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
General West.
Hey, Haywood.
From the 45 on second down. Locke throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. Third down here. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Check. Crunch. 80 weapon. Hey, Foxtrot.
56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike.
Hey, lock it.
Check tight. Check 43.
Hit it.
Throwing his Locke on third down. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 41-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Here we go. Get off the field.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll give to Williams, running right. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 14. This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on third down. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to make it fourth down. Now Brett Maher for the field goal try. This a 33-yard attempt. And this has no chance. It's no good, well wide to the left, and this will remain a scoreless game. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little, and when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Ready. Black 25 behind.
50. Here we go.
Now the former fourth-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. The tackle made by Blake Martinez.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
Ballage. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Ready? Leo!
On 2nd and 12, Locke. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Zadarius Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now Balaj. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. We're scoreless after 1. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this punt sails over the sideline, and the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Now Jones. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From the 29, Locke looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that, but if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops. Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Jameis to throw it. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run it with Balaj. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He's going to rifle one deep left side, and it's knocked away and incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Let's convert.
On 3rd down, Winston. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
Ready?
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. After the turnover, here's Locke. Flushed out right. Now on the run, he'll throw it back. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Mike 50.
Following the interception, Winston. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On 2nd down and 4. Locke flush to his right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
They look to throw. It's Locke to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Marr able to put this one through. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Balaj. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
19, Mike 19. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
First down, Winston. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, not a big gain with that play, but what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Give the sack to Blake Martinez. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Winston now from the 50. And, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Kevin King with a pick. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Here's Locke. Making the catch is Sternberger. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Watch the
Hard.
Locke will try again on 2nd down. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Locke looks to throw it again. Looking deep downfield. And it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to look deep for more. And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
check 50.
The first down throw for Winston. This one into the hands of the running back, Balaj. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Packers pick it up. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, this is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll stay on the ground. Balaj again. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Winston is going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. From the gun, Winston. Being chased out left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll run here with Balaj. And he loses the football a 2nd time. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down. Winston now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
And he'll give it here to his running back. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's Drake. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
Throwing, Winston. And this one's incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. Here's a run with Balaj. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, second and goal. Now Winston. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. From 3 yards out. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Back to the air on second down. It's Locke. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Trey Flowers picks it. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Wait.
Now Winston. And Bolden brings it in, complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Working out of the gun, Winston. And it's caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. He's got good size. We know he's tough to bring down running the ball. That also carries over to the passing game like we saw there.
And at his size.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Kalen Ballage with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken very short. And he'll get to the 30-yard line before going out of bounds.
Let's go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. This pass complete to Higgins. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 13 yards, first down, Packers. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Man, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Locke, forced out to his left. Now he'll square up and throw deep left sideline. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 15, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Right back to him on 1st down. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 1st down Seattle on a pickup of 13. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the 1st half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Winston. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Blake Martinez. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. They're going deep for Hill. And now here is another interception. Picked off around the 27. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
On 2nd and 11 now. Winston. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Now a leaping catch. He's got it. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Balaj. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
It's a gain of 6. And the Seahawks 1st down.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And you have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 1st down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
A gain of 5. Ready. 1st down in Seattle.
Here we go. Tight on this side, boys. Tight on the left. Tight on the left.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So the victory here for Seattle, and it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow, and for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour and something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar with touching the ball so they could pick up the fumble or get the interception. And we saw it pay off in this one here.
Yeah, 5 times. They'll remember this one. So for the Seahawks, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.